In every generation, there are stories that get repeated and stories that get misunderstood. Some are simplified, ritualized, and turned into symbolism. When Yama, the god of death, told Savitri he could not return Satyavan's life because reversing death was against the cosmic law, even the gods went above it. But he was so impressed by her calmness, her clarity, and her deep understanding of dharma that he offered her three boons, anything except for her husband's life. Savitri didn't react emotionally. She stayed sharp. For her first boon, she asked that her in laws be cured of their illness. A thoughtful, selfless ask. Yama granted it without hesitation. For the second, she asked that their lost kingdom be restored. Again, fair and within bounds, Yama agreed. Then came the third. She asked for children. Yama paused. But your husband is dead, he said. Savitri looked him in the eye, steady, silent, and replied, Then how will your boon come true? In that moment, Yama realized he'd been outmaneuvered, not by trickery, but by precision. She had followed every rule, spoken every truth, and now death had no argument left. Savitri didn't cry, she didn't plead, she made death fall by staying composed, calculated, and clear. She didn't pray for her husband's life, she earned it back by outthinking the god of death. And that's the part most retellings skip. Not the divine intervention, but the precision it took to earn it. Because when a woman meets power not with defiance, but with deliberate thought, when she navigates laws, rules, and resistance without flinching, she is no longer just a figure from a scripture. She becomes someone we all recognize. You've seen her, maybe you didn't realize it at that time. She's the woman at the hospital desk, arguing with insurance forms while holding her child's medical file in the other hand. She's the one in a small town bank, steady voiced and sharp eyed, sorting out loan papers after her husband's sudden death. She's at the bus stop at 6 a.m., tiffin in one hand, resignation letter in the other, deciding whether to keep feeding a system or build her own. You've seen her in your building, the woman who started tutoring after her family's business collapsed. You've seen her at railway stations, running a stall, answering customer calls, balancing cash books, grief, and hope all at once. Sometimes she's in your own home, a mother, a sister, a wife, quietly doing the hard math of life so others don't have to. She doesn't wear a crown or carry a flag. She carries the weight and still walks straight. Today, you won't find her in temples. You'll find her in boardrooms, in courtrooms, in hospitals, on the shop floor, and often right inside a middle class home, managing 10 problems without complaining about even one. She exists in every woman who steps up when everything is falling apart and there's no one else left to fix it. Take Malvika Hegde, for instance. After her husband, VG Siddhartha, died, Cafe Coffee Day was left in complete shambles. Financial pressure, public scrutiny, everything collapsing all at once. Malvika didn't panic. She didn't play victim. She quietly stepped in, took charge of the company, and began repaying the massive debt. Today, over 1600 crores have been paid back under her leadership. No speeches, no PR, just action. Sudha Murthy is another example. The world knows Narayan Murthy as the man behind Infosys, but the truth is, it started with her. She gave him the first check, the emotional backing, the time, and the belief.
I just want to tell all young entrepreneurs, it's very difficult to live with the most successful man. They are not normal. They are eccentric. They are not normal. They don't have a logic at home, only in the office. They expect you to be your wife. All entrepreneurs, they expect secretary, finance manager, nanny, advisor, and many more roles. A woman has to do all those. And any one of them you fail, that affects them badly. In olden days, there used to be tapas. Rishis will go to the forest, sit there. How many years I do not know. They meditate and get. Today, all these youngsters and old people like Narayan Murthy, all of you did tapas 30 years. It was not a magic wand. You touch here and you will get a palace. You touch Infosys in 1981 and what it is today in 2023. A person gives all his life, his younger days, his, all things, his tensions, his aspirations, everything to one tapas, that is their company. And a woman has to be stronger than a man. He may be very strong in his company. I am double of that because I have to withstand that all pressure.
Then there's Colonel Sophia Qureshi, a trailblazer in the Indian Army. Commissioned in 1999 into the Corps of Signals, she became the first woman to lead an Indian contingent in a multinational military exercise, including a UN peacekeeping mission in Congo. In 25, she co-led the media briefing on Operation Sindoor, India's strategic response to the Pahalgam terror attack. Alongside her stood Wing Commander Vyomika Singh, an IF helicopter pilot with over 2,500 flight hours in high-altitude rescue missions. She too took the podium during Operation Sindoor, representing the Air Force with clarity and calm. These women didn't just wear uniforms, they led in action, briefed the nation with composure, and shattered stereotypes about who belongs where in the armed forces. But here's the point. These are the names we know. There are millions more we don't. There are women running kirana stores after their husbands passed away. Women filing RTIs and fighting court cases because their partners were wronged. Women driving autos, doing double shifts or learning coding at night not because they had a grand vision, but because someone had to survive. There are wives treating their husbands like their first child, cooking, managing medicines, attending bank calls, filling up forms, talking to lawyers, arranging job interviews, and still smiling for the family photo. No recognition, no awards, just relentless responsibility. That's what Savitri really represents. Not a woman who sat and fasted quietly, but a woman who took action, who reasoned, who argued on moral, ethical, and logical grounds, and made even death himself run out of words. She was not rewarded for being loyal. She won because she was smart. So next time someone says, be like Savitri, don't reduce it to religious fasting or ceremonial devotion. That's not the message. The message is stand next to your partner not only in romance, but in crisis. Question the systems that tell you to stay quiet. Refuse to surrender to outcomes just because they're expected. Do the hard thing, not because you're told to, but because you know you can. Savitri wasn't passive, she was present. She wasn't obedient, she was prepared. She didn't wait for fate to decide, she made sure it was questioned, challenged, and overturned. And that's why Savitri isn't dead. She's just wearing jeans now, paying EMIs, filing online forms, and drafting emails, while saving the day one decision at a time.